Welcome to the Mutiny Report. I'm Fletcher Christian. This is what it feels like to be alive right now. Because sometime between a golf outing and a fundraiser, the United States wandered into another war in the Middle East. No national address, no serious explanation to the American people. No cabinet officials doing the Sunday morning circuit to explain the strategy. Just clips. Clips of the president standing at his golf club in Mar-a-Lago, announcing that we had just launched strikes in Iran, not from the Oval Office, not from the Situation Room, from a patio at a golf club. Well, probably wasn't a patio, but jacket on, tie off. USA hat pulled down like he's about to tee off on the 9th hole. Then later that same day, he shows up at a fundraiser with his tie back on. Apparently, war requires less formality than talking to donors. Now let's talk about what actually happened while the cameras were off. Within the first days of this war, the three U.S. F-15E Strike Eagles were shot down over Kuwait. Not by Iran, by our own side. Friendly fire. Kuwaiti air defenses, in the chaos of incoming drones and missiles, misidentified the jets and fired. That's not just a tragic mistake. That's a sign the battlefield is already out of control. When allies start shooting down your planes, it means the sky is already too crowded, the communication too messy, and the entire operation moving too fast for anyone to keep track of who the hell is who. And that's before we even get to the retaliation. Iranian-backed militias across the region have started mobilizing. Missile launches, drone attacks, bases on high alert from Iraq to the Gulf, embassies tightening security, well, because they've been kind of under attack. The entire region lighting up like a fuse that somebody forgot to put a timer on. American casualties have already been reported, service members dead, families getting phone calls in the middle of the night. And if this all feels familiar, that's because it fucking is. Because I've heard this script before. I heard it 20 plus years ago when I was before I was in Operation Enduring Freedom, and then joined. Back then we were told the same things. It'll be quick. It'll be precise. We know what we're doing. There's a strategy. There's a plan. And to be fair, when Iraq kicked off, there was actually a plan. Not a good one, but a plan. And look how that turned out. Didn't it turn out fucking great? I mean, Iraq is literally run by Iran now. At least somebody had drawn up arrows on a map. Right now, I'm not sure anyone even has bothered to find the fucking map. Because when reporters ask what the endgame is, the answer coming out of Washington sounds like something between wishful thinking and improvisational jazz. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, yes, apparently, yes, we're calling him Secretary of War because we're peacetime motherfuckers and we're a peacetime president. Yeah, my ass. Has already said the administration is not ruling out boots on the ground. Not ruling it out? Let that phrase sink in. Because the second those words enter the conversation, you already know what direction this is going. And here's the part that people in Washington keep pretending not to understand. Regime change from the air does not fucking exist. It has never existed. You cannot overthrow a government from 30,000 feet in the air. It didn't work in Vietnam. It didn't work in Afghanistan. It didn't work in Iraq. It didn't work in Libya. Bombing campaigns can break infrastructure. They can destroy weapons. They can kill people. And they have. But governments only fall when soldiers walk into the Capitol and remove them. And this is even after we literally assassinated 90% of their head guys and their families, I'm sure, because they were probably with their families when they were assassinated. That's the ugly truth nobody wants to say out loud, because saying it out loud means admitting what's coming next. Ground troops, American troops. Another generation of young Americans loading rucksacks and boarding transportation planes headed towards deserts they couldn't find on a map last week. And while the machine is spinning up overseas, the blowback has already started here at home. Blowback, that term invented by the CIA, I think in the 1950s. Authorities are investigating a mass shooting in Austin where a gunman reportedly draped in Iranian symbolism opened fire, killing 2 people and injuring 14 others. Whether that attack ends up directly connected to this war or not almost doesn't matter. Because wars like this ignite emotions everywhere. They ripple outward. Embassies become targets. Cities become flashpoints. Communities become pressure cookers. War doesn't stay contained to the battlefield. We've learned this many, many times before. It leaks. And that's why this whole situation is dripping with hypocrisy. Because the same president who launched this illegal war spent an entire campaign promising something very specific. No new wars. Remember that? He told crowds that if his opponents got elected, your kids would be sent overseas. What a fucking lie. He said he was the peace candidate, the guy who would stop endless wars. None of the wars, this guy's so full of shit. And yet, here we are, a regional war unfolding across the Middle East. American aircraft shot down, American service members already dead. Sucks. Militias mobilizing, embassies on lockdown, and a Secretary of War openly talking about the possibility of boots on the ground. The peace candidate has become the wartime president. He did it in a golf hat. Like, literally get that through your head. In a fucking golf hat. Well, I call it a golf hat because he was at Mar-a-Lago. It's like you can't even go to the White House if you're going to declare war, dude. What a douche. Which might be the most surreal point of all of this. Because wars used to, at least, come with the illusion of gravity. Presidents behind desks, addresses to the nation. Some attempt to make it feel like the decision carried weight. Now, we get patio announcement and fundraiser speeches. Meanwhile, the rest of us are left staring at the same question every American generation has had to ask since Vietnam. How does this end? Because right now, there is no exit strategy, no diplomatic ramp, no clear objective beyond hit them until something changes. And history tells us that that's not a strategy. That's inertia. Wars have momentum. Once the gears start turning, they pull in allies, enemies, militias, markets, politics, revenge, fear of all of it feeding the machine. And before you know it, you're 10 years deep into something nobody remembers how it started. Trust me, I've seen that movie. I was there for, I guess, the middle act. And watching it start again like this feels a lot like deja vu. Stay loud, stay human, and for fuck's sake, stay mutinous. Mutiny out.